one of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. And after a months-long process of trying to get their stores up and running, they say business is booming.
One of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have been opened in the last 2 weeks, and after a months-long process of trying to get their stores up and running, they say business is booming. So look at the mistakes. They're all really easy stuff. This is a little bit of grammar, the, and, of, there, they say, ing, okay, that have. So it wasn't the vocabulary. Retail cannabis shops, months-long process, business, up and running. Obviously, these were part of EVC, but anyway, boom, you guys did a very nice job with vocabulary. It was the little stuff, and it typically is. So why do we have these problems? Pronunciation. Absolutely, it's pronunciation, because these words are easy. The grammar is, most of you, if I give you a proper sentence, if I give you 2 sentences, one with a grammar problem, one with no grammar problem, usually most of you can figure out which one is good and which one is bad. Usually, okay? People tend to think vocabulary is the reason it's difficult. No, it's the little stuff. Usually. Not always. So, of course, vocabulary can be tough. These are, for some of you, new words. And that's great. We're expanding our vocabulary. But it's the easy stuff, the little stuff. That's where we need to focus. So let's go back here. The volume is kind of tough to catch, I understand.
One of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have one of only 3 retail cannabis shops.
One of only 3 retail cannabis shops. One of only 3 retail cannabis shops. Cannabis shops. Look how that S and SH blend together. Cannabis shops. Cannabis shops that have been opened in the last 2. Now pay attention for the D.
One of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. Shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. Shops that have been open.
Shops that have been, shops that have been, shops that have been, shops that have been, shops that have been. Now, this is really tough. And that's why I say, back in EVC, the TH sound, yeah. It's, in this situation, really tough. Shops that have been, shops that have been, shops that have been, shops that have been, 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 shops that have been, shops that have been. Can you do that? It's not easy. The H is gone, that have been, and the V is very weak. But it's not that been, it's that have been, that have been, that have been, that have been. We know this rule. 7 H's and the V consonant, right? Hopefully, unless you're new, like this month new, hopefully you remember this rule, okay? Like I said, in November, in the first lesson, probably the first 2 lessons, I'll talk about all these rules again, cancellation rules. If you have a question, please ask. I'll say it again. The H was canceled and the V was canceled, but we have that have been open in the last 2 weeks. Now here what he did was a stop D. Open. He didn't finish in the last 2 weeks. It has to be grammatically, it must be there. And as a native English speaker, he said it, he just stopped. That have been open in the last 2 weeks. That have been open in the last 2 weeks. He went right to the D and stopped. In the N, canceling out that TH. The TH is gone. In the last 2 weeks, listen.
Shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. Shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks.
That have been open in the last 2 weeks. Absolutely, he says the D.
Shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. Shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks.
And after a months-long process, get that S.
Shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. And after a months-long.
I love the pronunciation here. His N and S, these are strong sounds, right? Absolutely, there's an S. Completely killed the TH. It sounds like months long. There's no TH. None. It's gone. Months-long process.
And after a months-long process.
Now remember, of trying, just like have been, the V was canceled, we can probably cancel the V there too.
And after a months-long process of trying to get their stores up and of trying to get their stores,
of trying to get their stores, of trying to
get their stores, of trying to get their stores,
of trying to get their stores, of trying to get their stores, of trying to get their stores, their stores, their stores, of trying to get their stores,
of trying to get their stores, of trying to get their stores up and running. They say business is booming. They say business is booming. They say business is booming.
They say business is booming. They say business is booming. They say business is booming. The business is boom? No, doesn't make any sense. Booming. The expression is something is booming. ING. Absolutely ING. They say business is booming. They say business is booming. They say business is booming. All right? So not that easy, I know. But hopefully if I give you the answers, you can hear. I know you probably can't hear every bit, but hopefully most of it. All right, let's go. One of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have been opened in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so I don't know if he means in Burlington or if he means in Vermont. He might mean Vermont. So they're going to have, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 or 50 marijuana stores, but the licensing is very elaborate. It takes a long time to get a license. So far, only 3. And this is October 9th, October 10th. I don't know the date exactly. But only one of 3. So there are 3 stores in Vermont and only one. I'm at this one. I'm here at one of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have been opened in the last 2 weeks. Good grammar questions here. One, have, is that right? No, grammatically it should be has. We see this mistake all the time in Seinfeld. We have a subject that is singular, but then we talk about in a prepositional phrase, we have a plural noun, and because the influence of that plural noun, it kind of affects this verb, and it makes it have or, works instead of work. Whatever. So this happens a lot. So if you caught that, yes, grammatically this should be has, not have, but that happens all the time in English. And after a months-long process of trying to get their stores up and running, they say business is booming. Who is there? Who is they? These 3 retail cannabis shops. Okay? These 3 shops have been working for months and months and months trying to get their stores up and running, completely operational. So like I said, where I live, there is a marijuana store. And they have marijuana, they have pipes and whatever else you need, but they can't open. So they're up, but they're not running. The store is there, they have a sign, they have a phone number, they have a computer system, they have the products, but they can't open. They're not running yet. It takes a long time. It's a months-long process, many months-long process. Anyway, these 3 shops are now up and running. They say business is booming, and this is a great word, booming. And Wally asked, booming, we use it for development is booming, the economy is booming, progress is booming. Yeah, especially the development and economy and business is booming. The development area is booming. Lots of new houses, lots of new buildings. The economy is booming. I wish. Is any economy booming right now? The business is booming. It's doing really well. I wish Let's Master English were booming. It's not. Help me. Tell your friends to join so LME can be booming. I would love that. Now, there's another question here about shops and stores. Sometimes they say shops, sometimes they say stores. So they're the same thing, but actually shop is more specific. So a store can sell anything, groceries, alcohol, tobacco, toys, magazines, anything. A store can sell anything. Walmart is a store. They sell everything, okay? A shop, if we specifically say the word shop, typically sells one thing. It has one area. So a beauty shop, a tobacco shop, a marijuana shop, a cannabis shop. They only sell tobacco, cannabis-related items, okay? They don't have other things. Everything in a shop, a barber shop, everything in a shop is related to one thing, whereas a store can have a variety of things. So cannabis shops is perfect. Cannabis stores, yeah, that's fine. It actually works, no problem. But shops is perfect because that is their product, okay?
One of only 3 retail cannabis shops that have been open in the last 2 weeks. And after a months-long process of trying to get their stores up and running, they say business is booming.